Alrighty, folks. So once again, I'm Tanya Smith, and tonight's topic is we're going to talk about how to make sure you don't get flagged for music when you're live streaming or sharing short clips. I promise you, there is nothing worse than having this fantastic stream you're doing, and you're like, this is awesome. I'm sharing the best content I ever shared. And then womp womp. Let me see if I got some sound. Facebook, YouTube, any of them, they're like, we're not showcasing you. We're not sharing your sound, or they just completely pull your video down. If any of those things happen to you because of music, it was probably avoidable, and that's what we need to talk about tonight. So I hope that you're here to learn a little bit more about that, and maybe we can learn a little bit more about each other. And like I said earlier, if you've got tips that you want to share on the chat, feel free to do that. Now, I have connected, I think, my Substack folks. So I'm going to test this out real quick because I see someone has typed in OG. I see my friend Jim Fuse, Sharon Marie as well. So I've got some OGs over there. I'm going to test it and I'm going to see if we can actually showcase. We're going to try showcase the Substack chat, but also YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you are, we'll be showcasing you too. I didn't forget about you, of course. So let me do this really fast because there's a couple of steps that go in hand here. I've got to do a little something, a little finagling, like I said, with something called a widget, okay? And it's in an app called, there we go. It's in an app called Social Stream Ninja. It's a few extra steps, but y'all, if you know me, you know I'm all about experimenting. So you know this is fun for me because if I can experiment, fail a couple of times, and then get a win, then I get to share it back with you and teach you how to do it. So we did teach a little bit of how to do this just the other day on Substack itself. And if you don't know what Substack is, we'll talk about that later because we want to dive into the content tonight. Let me do a couple of really quick tests here real quick. Hicks is in the house. And the house is packed. Let me go ahead and pop this up. I'm going to see if I can see that comment, Hicks, and pop it up. All right. Okay, not quite yet. If anybody over on Substack can help me test, just pop something into the chat real like now because it's picking up as of this minute. And that way I can see if I can pop you into the chat. Meanwhile, let's get into what we're talking about. We're talking about music. So a couple of things. Let me see if that worked. Hold on. Because, of course, he did it and distracted me. Hold on. I'm coming. I got to make sure it's showing in the screen, and I didn't pop it in the screen. There we go. Oh, I know why. I need to do something else really fast. Let me fix this widget real quick here because I've got the wrong one in there. We need the featured chat overlay. This is called experimentation in motion. I promise I'm going to get to the real stuff in just a second. But I am just geeked about making this work because it took me like a week to do. And let's see. Hey, there we go. I see Mayanna. There we go. I see y'all. And Hicks. Ninja what? You are just a mess, a hot mess. Okay, so we got our Substack people here. We got our LinkedIn folks here. Let me say hello to my LinkedIn, my YouTube, my Facebook people real fast. And I promise you we're going to get into it. There's Lisa. What's up? She said, hi, everyone. Good to see you, ma'am. Let me move my friend, my Substack person out of the way. This is going to be fun, y'all. We're doing some experimentation. And again, why? Is because I like to go back and teach you how to do these things later on. John Lacey is going to have some tips, y'all. So if you're over in YouTube, I definitely want you to make sure that you are connecting and that you're seeing what he's putting down because I'll try to pop up as many as I can, but he might type faster than I can pop them up. So he's got some tips that we'll definitely highlight in here. I see hello from Tamika B. What's up? Yes, from the Dames panel. Thank you so much for popping in and stopping by. Yes, people always ask on Facebook groups, how do I use copyright music? And the answer is largely you don't. We're going to talk about this because It is a big deal, y'all. I'm definitely going to dive into this because I want to talk a little bit about the tips. So let's just get on into it because I think it's really important for you to know these things, and I don't want you to leave before you get the goodies. So let's get into some of the goodies. Okay, first and foremost, whenever I do these streams, I like to express to you why it's important to understand the topic at hand because some of you are new, right? A lot of you are not. A lot of you are OGs, and I thank you for that, for being here because, you know, you're advanced level and that type of thing, right? But then there's many people that will come back to this video later or that are here now and they don't know. So I start off by telling you why the tips matter. So let's be real. Nothing is going to kill a good streaming vibe faster than the dreaded, your content has been muted due to copyright claims. And it is not just about the platforms. If you're building a brand or you're monetizing, your music needs to be safe to use everywhere. And especially if you're doing like I am and you're multi streaming to different places, what you don't want is to get blocked in a couple of those places and the other places are working fine. Okay. This is also another reason why I always encourage you to retain the original copy. So, because I'm using something fancy called Ecamm Live, as I'm streaming to you right now, it's automatically creating a copy. It's creating not only one copy of with all the fancy graphics, but I also love that Ecamm Live lets me create an isolated copy. ISO is what we call it. And what that means is it's one without all the fancy graphics, which makes it super easy for me to do reels and other types of clips and to just repurpose the heck out of my content after I'm done. So that's something I want you to think about, right? The other thing is if you are a business owner, which many of you are, when you're using the right type of music, it's not just about legal safety, although that's a big one to protect your brand as a company, but it's also about professionalism and peace of mind. And can I tell y'all something? Look, okay, I'm going to say this, and I have some cousins. I'm gonna just say I have some cousins, right? And these cousins are amazing cousins and they know a lot. But I've seen some of my cousins put videos on, particularly on Facebook and some other channels. And what they'll do is they'll use this music that they do not own and they'll put this little disclaimer that says, I do not own the rights to this music. Guess what? The music owner doesn't care about your I don't own it. They care that you used it in the first place, especially if you needed some type of commercial license because you have a business or something that is a for-profit situation, you could be in trouble. Okay? So you could either get a copyright claim, there's a bunch of things that can happen. So I want you to just take care that you do see this as an important topic. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. Yes, that disclaimer will not save you, as John said. Okay. I'm doing good. Juan Santiago or Santiago. I see that you've joined over on Substack. It's wonderful to see you. So thank you for stopping by. All right. So let's dive into a couple of other quick things. And then I'm going to give you my three favorites. Okay. So that you know what those are. And the other thing I'm going to do is something, I'm going to test this out. I tested it for a quick second, but I want to make sure that it does work. So I bought a new camera. I don't know if you can see me there. Okay. I bought a new cam. It's right back here somewhere. It's got a little bit of a delay. It's an OBSBot Tail Air. And what I was trying to do is to test that out to make sure that we could get different angles. And it looks like I think it might be working, which is great. Nice. Love it. Zakia said, I don't own the rights to this music. So why, girl, let me pop this up because it's hilarious. Because that's what I wanted to ask. So why are you using it? That is not going to save you. You have to let it go. Stop doing that, y'all, because it's going to get you in trouble. Okay. All right. Yep. I saw the delay as well, John. I'm going to have to play with that a little bit later. Okay. So this is another point that I want to make sure that you get. There's a difference between copyright free and royalty free. Okay. Copyright free, and I am not an attorney. So let me say this, not an attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice, but I'm giving you advice that I have had to study, and I have an attorney, an intellectual property attorney. So I'm sharing with you what has been shared with me. If you truly want to protect your brand and stay safe, you should definitely consult your own attorney if you have complex issues and situations and questions, because I'm not going to try to answer those, but I'm going to give you the difference between copyright free and royalty free as I know it. Copyright free means that no one owns the right to the music, so it's usually in the public domain and you can use it however you want. If it's royalty free, which is most of the time what you're going to see if you're using those libraries like in Mimvo and Opus Clip and some of those other places where we might be clipping our music, right? And even some of the music production type of editors, the video editors rather, royalty free means someone still owns the music, but you can use it without paying every time you play it. So once you buy or download the license, then you're covered. So if you think of it like this, copyright free is like finding a book with no author. You can read it, you can quote it, you can remix it and whatever. Royalty free is like buying a book and being told, read it as much as you want. You've already paid for it. There's no need to pay me again. But if you use it outside of the license for which I said you can, if you start quoting things and you don't attribute it to me, you could be paying, right? So royalty free doesn't always mean free, but if you have the right license, it can be more safe to use, okay? So now let's dig into the tools, and I'm going to do some screen sharing, and I'll share a three. Actually, I have 3+1, 3.5, 3.5 that I'm going to share with you. Before I do that, let me pop a couple of quick comments up to make sure I'm acknowledging folks. And I do see you over there in Substack. So if you do have comments or questions, you can pop those up there as well. It's good to see you there. As I said, you're connected. Let's see. Copyright is literally the right to copy and to prevent other people from using or misusing your work. Let's see. Love your wisdom. Thank you, Debbie. And you know I love yours too. We are mutually compatible as it goes, right? Dr. Will Speaks in the house. Boom. I love it. Wait, I got to let me see if I can find my fire explosion, because when Dr. Will is here, it's always on. It's on. Enrique, hey, you are a winner. Winner, winner, winner. So winner from 50 over 50 podcasters. Enrique Acosta Gonzalez is in the house. It's good to see you, sir. Let's see. John said there's a difference between musical composition and a recording. So John is getting ready to go deep on all of y'all. So I popped him up in there. You can't use Taylor Swift's version. Exactly. Correct. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into the three that I want to share with you. Like I said, 3.5, because 1/2 is one that, I mean, I've used it, but I don't love it, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So let's start with the easy one. And the easy one is the YouTube Music Library. Has anybody used the YouTube Music Library? And I'm going to tell y'all something. One thing that's really interesting is that not that long ago, I had done a couple of video clips. Actually, I've done this recently. I did some video clips, and I was every day getting flagged by Facebook saying that I was sharing music rights with all these different companies. And finally, I wrote up an appeal, some appeal wording to use, because typically if you're using audio libraries inside of the apps I was talking about, like Mimvo and other places like that, there is some level of protections in that they'll tell you, hey, we have the rights, and therefore, because you're paying us for the subscription, you have the rights to use this. So one thing I do want to tell you is that I had to reach out to them, to their support, to say, look, I'm getting these flags every day from the music I'm using from you. I need your tips on what we need to do and what to put together. So if you want my sample language, I will share with you what I did pull together before we leave, okay? But I'm sharing this YouTube audio library with you because this is considered safe. YouTube has basically said, hey, we put this stuff in the library and you can use it all you want. Now, if you have to think about pros and cons, and yep, Roy, you know I'm going to get to that one because that's one of my favorites too. I see what you put in the comments. But I'm giving you free, no cost, and simple first. So, YouTube Studio Library does have music. You will, much like you do with, let's think of something to compare to. If you were going to Ross Dress for Less, TJ Maxx, any of those type of stores, right? Sometimes you have to go through to find the good stuff. You just have to go through the aisles. And there's going to be some stuff that's great. And then there's going to be a few things that you're like, no. Or it might, maybe vice versa. There's a lot of stuff that's not great. And there are a few that are good gems. Same thing happens with the YouTube library. You're not going to find stuff that you love, I don't think. But you know that it's safe and it might be sufficient for your purpose, because if your purpose is just creating like a 60-second or less video, a video clip, it might be exactly what you need. So definitely this is one of the first ones that I would share is the YouTube music library. Okay. Now, secondarily, let me tell you where to find this. So if you're in your channel in your YouTube studio, it's over on the sidebar. You can kind of see my little arrow over here by my head. It's in the YouTube sidebar and it's called Audio Library. So this is full of video music or music that you can use for your videos that will not get flagged. Okay. Allegedly, supposedly. Not only do they have music, but they also have sound effects. And if you have favorited any of these, then I believe they also get put into the starred tab. Okay. So these are some options for you to definitely take a look at. Now, remember I said I was going to give you a half, and I'm going to check and see if anybody has some thoughts on this as well. A half would be the Facebook or Meta sound collection. Okay. So if you go to facebook.com/sound, right here at the top, facebook.com/sound, they have a sound collection that also is supposedly, allegedly available to you to use without getting flagged. Okay, so there's a lot in here. In my opinion, again, much like with the music library by YouTube, you're probably going to find a few winners here and there. And you can certainly make sure that you take a look through and download the ones that you want to use with your videos and add some to favorites and all of that. Okay. So I'm giving you free and simple right now. I'm telling you the YouTube library and they call it the Meta library. So YouTube and the Meta library, these are two options that could potentially be just what you need because you're looking for free. Okay. So let me double check and see what kind of comments we have about any of this. Let me see what first of all, Dr. Vibe is in the house. Greetings. Thank you so much. Yes, we are fine. We are well and we are safe. Highly favored, blessed and highly favored. John says, by using this audio library, you agree with the YouTube library terms and conditions. So you might want to read those carefully. That is important. As a matter of fact, it's important that you read whatever you're using carefully. And here's a point about that I'm glad you just kind of triggered me to remember. There are going to be some in the YouTube music library potentially, and you want to check for this. If you choose a particular music soundbite, you want to see where it says whether or not you have to attribute the music to the music creator. Let me show you where to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one more time right here. We'll do it this way. So look over here where it says license type. Okay. It's license type is its own category. And what you will want to do when you're choosing that audio is you want to hover over and see if attribution is required. For the most part, I haven't seen any, but you do need to make sure you read it. So to John's point, it's important that you stay aware, right? Stay aware and that you read, which we're doing anyway. If you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, right? Many of you are. We've got to protect ourselves by reading what we're signing up for. Okay, let me see what else. Yes, that is it, Prima. Let me go ahead and make sure I pop up your comment. Yeah, Meta has a sound collection, and YouTube has a studio audio library, is what it's called. So, yes. Okay. Let me see what else we got in here. Blessed, highly favorite. Yes. Love, 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 Dr. Vibe. Wait, let me put some, can I put some confetti love on there? Thank you. Y'all, I'm trying to have a little fun tonight because it's been a little heavy the last couple of weeks. So to me, this is fun. And thank you so much for making it a happy place and chatting with me and, putting positive energy into the chat because that makes all the difference. I love that. Okay. So we've talked about 1.5, the YouTube audio library, the Meta library. We've talked about those things. And I do see right now, let me pop this up because I do see a comment from one of our friends over in, over in Substack. Let me see if I can get it to pull up. Pull it up, pull it up. You may only be able to use these libraries on that channel, not across channel. You need to double check that. You need to double check that, especially if you're doing multi streams like I do. And I know, right? This is why I said the word allegedly, and I am not an attorney. So pay attention. Now, I have successfully used, I'm going to say successfully, meaning I didn't get flagged, by using some of the music, for instance, from Meta Library on vertical clips that went everywhere. And I have not gotten dinged for that. And the same thing with YouTube Audio Library, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. So if it does happen, the simple and easy correction is what? You can either pull that video down, because typically you're going to see notification pretty quickly. Usually within 24 to 48 hours is what I've been experiencing. So you can either pull it down and replace it. They give you options generally, unless they just completely wipe out the video, which can happen, but rarely have I seen that. Usually you're going to get some type of warning, so pay attention to those. Okay, the second source, well, I kind of did 1.5, but hey, we're going to call this number 2. Number 2 is my favorite, okay? My second resource is Epidemic Sound. So I believe Roy is who put that in the comments as well. And I pretty much have enjoyed using Epidemic Sound because I love the quality of what they put in here. There's lots and lots of options. You've got music, you've got sound effects, you've even got voices, which I haven't tried out yet because that's in beta. And I just haven't had a need to, but I have created different playlists for events. Let me see if I can find some of those for you so you can kind of get a feel. So different for Reels, I've created some for various rooms that I have in Go Brunch. I've created a few for my Creator Day that we do, which is a co-working event for different kinds of events and activities. I've created playlists for courses. I've created playlists of music that I found in here that I love. Now, one of the common questions is, okay, so what if I do get a subscription? Because by the way, this one is not free. I don't know if they have an actual free version. Let me see. I think they may, but if they do, it's got to be super highly limited because I have the lowest version that they have. I'm going to type in pricing and let's see. And there we go. Yeah, I don't see a free version in here. Okay. But it's $9.99 a month and these are annual or yearly billing, right? So $9.99 a month if you sign up for a year, $16.99 for the commercial plan. And then if you need enterprise, which most of us do not, you can request a quote. But one of the common things that I often get asked about this particular space is this. Hey, what if I decide I want to cancel my subscription? Then what happens? So you do want to go and pay attention to their FAQs and check this out. But my understanding based on what I've read and what I have asked them to clarify is I can continue. So let's say, for instance, I created a video 2 weeks ago. And I'm using, which I am in my live streams, the intro music typically is from Epidemic Sound. I love it. I love that I get to choose the options there. But the question is, what if I decided I wanted to cancel tomorrow? Do I have to go back to all my videos that had that music in it and now remove that music? And the answer is no. But what I would have to do is if I cancel tomorrow, I cannot from that point moving forward continue to use the same music, right? So I don't have to go back and clear up all those other ones because during those dates I actually I was subscribed and I had access and I had fair license. But starting tomorrow, when I cancel, I got to stop using that subscription music because I'm not on their subscription anymore. So you will want to, again, clarify if you have any more complex questions around that. But that's the gist of why I don't mind using it. And I find that the library is pretty robust and has a lot of options. So that's my second. Now, if any of you have other options that you use, remember, I've asked you to put that in the chat. And I do have one that I know some of you are going to be like, oh, yeah, I use this one. I haven't used the one I'm about to share with you yet. So I'm curious to see if anyone else has. But let's go ahead and put some comments up real quick here. Tech Troublemaker. Sure, you can license my music. So you have music. Have you been creating it using, well, I'm going to wait till I get to it in a minute. It's available on YouTube for shorts. Okay, so Roy has been creating some music, which I love. John Lacey says, I guess you can make your videos without music and then customize those per platform with that platform's music option. Yeah, that's way too much time and effort. So I'm going to say I wouldn't do that personally, but you have to do what's right for you and make sure that you study and understand the implications. Let's see. You know what? Roy does have a band. Okay, I am curious. So I'm going to see what you put in there. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so those are some of our comments. Let's go ahead and I'll share. If you've got questions about Epidemic Sound at all, let me know. Here is my personal link to, if you decide that you want to try out a subscription, you can try it out using my link if you prefer, tanyasmith.link/esound. eSound for Epidemic Sound. So that's my affiliate link. I can make enough to buy a coffee if you decide to purchase through my link, but you absolutely don't have to. I'm just popping it up there as an opportunity. Okay, let's see what else we got. I see my folks, yes, in Substack coming through with some comments, and I definitely want to pop some of those up. So let's see, because Sharon Marie bought Audio Hero from AppSumo a few months ago, but haven't checked out the music quality yet. Yes, I too have purchased some things off of AppSumo that I have yet to try out. Actually, I did try one. I can't remember what it was called. It might have been Audio Hero, Sharon Marie, but I didn't love what I heard initially, so I haven't used it. And that's why I ended up going to Epidemic Sound a few years ago, is because it just about everything that I pulled up, I liked. Like I couldn't find music that I hated, whereas I can with some of the other apps. Now, here's the third and final resource that I'm going to share, though, that is very intriguing, and especially in this day of AI, y'all. In these times, we can do so many things. We can get so creative, and I love this. I know, right? AppSumo Anonymous. What's up, Dantana in the house? I see you. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up. I don't know much about it other than what I've heard my friends say. So, Hicks, I know you're familiar with this. A few of you other ones may be familiar with this too. If you are, let me know in the chat. But the one I'm going to pull up now is called Suno, Suno, and it is AI music. Okay. So let me see if I can actually pull up like the front page so we can kind of look at it together. Suno AI, or I guess it's suno.com. Let me do it in an incognito window so we can see the home page. Now, I am experimenting with this, but I love it so far. And I think that there are some folks that I am actually, I know for a fact that a couple of people have created full libraries of their own songs that they're creating simply by typing in their idea, typing in a little bit of information about the style that they want to use, and then clicking create. So I was thinking maybe we could like create something together right now. And I think I have on the sound, the share screen sound. So maybe we can like create something and then see how it sounds. So Dr. Vibe Show says Suno is not bad. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to take your word for it, but then we're also going to test this out. I agree, John. It's going to be really interesting to see how the copyright identification services come together with AI generated music. It's going to be really interesting, isn't it? Okay. So let's play with this. I'm going to ask for your help, okay? So, what I did when I came into the scene here, first of all, I didn't even see this featured music yet. So, I don't know if any of you have featured music out here. And I do not plan to upgrade to Pro at this time because, again, I'm using Epidemic Sound and I already have a subscription there. But I did notice when I opened this thing up that it had credits. So apparently, if you're using the free version, it allows you to use a certain number of credits to create. Now, what that looks like, I don't know. So if anybody else is in here who knows more than I do and you've used this before, please feel free to share in the chat. So when you do create, this is what it's doing. First of all, when I first signed up, it asked me, what is the type of music that you like? And so I put in things like soul, R&B, hip hop, West Coast rap. There were certain things that I selected and said, yeah, this would be me. This is my sound, right? This is what I like. But there were a lot of different choices. So you get to pick when you first sign up. Now, right here it's saying create. So we're going to just call it, let's call it Stream Boss Tango. No, we're not going to call it tango because it's not tango music. What do we call this, y'all? Stream Boss. We'll just say test for now. Okay, we'll do that. I want to know what we should write about or what kind of song should we create. So give me some ideas. I'm looking in the chat. We need a Stream Bosses Academy theme song is what Dr. Stacy Moore said. I agree. I agree. Let me see if I can pop that up. So if you have ideas, I want to know what would that sound like? If we came up with a theme song for Stream Like a Boss TV even, what would that sound like? So they put this sample tribal doo-wop song about street food. No, I don't think so. I'm going to say, upbeat, hip hop song. What did you say? John said, a dub mix like a boss. Oh, let's see. I'm looking jazz. Okay. So upbeat, we'll say jazz. Upbeat, jazzy. Let's see. Lounge style. I'm going to say in an urban lounge. How about that? With I'm getting creative, y'all. Let's see what else. A track of nice house. Everybody's got different music. Okay, I'm going to stick with my theme for now. Let me see what else I can add here that will help it to come up with something. So upbeat, jazzy in an urban lounge with comfortable. No. With the flair for drama. How about that? I'm just putting something. And I'm going to choose down here. There's smooth soul. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Gosh. Atmospheric rap, ballad, tempo, weird instruments, new. And we do want it to be instrumental. I don't want anybody singing on it. I don't need any words. I'm going to just say soulful chill synth. Okay. Oh, so these are words that go in here, but you can also, it looks like you can just roll the dice and get something as well. Okay, let's just create it. We're going to see what it is because we're not going to be out here all night doing it. We're going to create it and I'm going to see if we can all hear it because hopefully I'm going to make sure that I have the sound turned on from my screen share. So let me double check that real quick here. Check our screen. Yes, we do have that ready to go. Okay. Okay, so it came up with some stuff, y'all. Okay, now what I like about this when it came up with the items is it has the name, but it gave us two different versions, so that's cool. And it gave us the ability to make it public or keep it private. So if we don't love it, we don't have to share it. And if we do, we'll give it a thumbs up and we'll make it public. But let's see if we can hear this. And I will check the sound. So I'm going to ask you in just a second if you can hear it. You know what? We should do that. John Lacey, you're a genius. He said we should do a contest. Please. Okay, I'm going to pop that up at the end of this so that we can get a contest going. Okay. Can y'all hear that? Okay. It's a little too slow for me. But I kind of like it. It's good chill music. I would probably use that in like my urban lounge that I've created in Go Brunch. So one of my creator rooms. Okay, Jim could hear it. Sharon could hear it. Good. Okay, let's see what the other one does. I think I want something honestly a little bit more upbeat. So Dr. Vibe, you heard that on YouTube. Let's see what else we got. It sounds like me, Dr. Stacy. Probably. Let me tell you where I would play that. Like that's totally me right there. That second one is totally me, but for my clips. So for my reels and my short video clips, totally me. Yeah. And you can hear it on Substack too. Okay. Y'all, how cool is this? I love playing. This is fun. Okay, so we could even add a caption. I don't know what the caption would be for. I guess if we were sharing this music out, we give a little bit of description or something about it. That is dope. I love this. Okay, so check that out. We were able to create some music in just a few seconds. You know I'm going to be playing more with this, but I'm not going to take up your whole time doing that because I might be here for the rest of the night messing with this. But I love this option. How cool is that? Okay, so what is this? Explore new styles of music with Suno version 4. Okay, pick a style or roll the dice. I'm just going to roll the dice. Okay, probably wouldn't do that. Although I am a fan of Tron and you know Star Wars and all of that stuff, but I don't necessarily create that type of content. Okay. Mellow. Okay, y'all. This is cool. I am having fun. But like I said, I won't take up your whole night doing this, but this is fun. So what I did is I went to Suno, suno.com. I do not have an affiliate link for that, so I can't share that with you yet, but I can tell you it's at suno.com. Actually, they did just give me an affiliate link. Huh. So let me pop that up so that you have it. If you want to try it out on me, I'm going to pop it up for you. So the first one I gave you was eSound, which is going to be our friendly Epidemic sound. And that does have a subscription fee, so you definitely want to check it out, but see what works for you. Because I'm not a believer in spending money if you don't need to spend it. So you just decide if that's for you. And if it's not, then maybe something like this Suno, even though Suno also looks like it has a different version or a subscription version. The free version has 100 credits, whatever that's for. So this is the link that they just gave me as an affiliate link. If you want to try out Suno, test it out. Oh, and guess what? If you do test it out, let me pop this up. We both win because look what it's saying. It's saying share your invite to earn credits. When your friend signs up and creates 10 songs, you both receive 250 free credits. So that's awesome. So if you want to get 250 free credits, go ahead and sign up using my link. Hey, a win and a win. Love, love, love it. I see some coffee shop sounds in here I'm going to play with too. Okay, let's pop up comments. Let me see what y'all are talking about in here. Uh, First of all, I got to pop this up. And let me move my link here out of the way. We should do the Stream Like a Boss music contest. I totally agree, John. So I'm all over that. Love it, love it, love it. We're going to put a contest out there and have some folks come up with a theme song. And let's see what else. Not that I want to encourage the use of AI tools, but you should probably ask ChatGPT. If I was a genre of music, what would I be? John, you are the least AI friendly person I know, and that is a genius statement. So I do love it. I love it. I love it. Dr. Vibe Show is going to look into a track of nice house music. Roy said, let me see what you got, Roy, on here. I love playing with that site. You can use your own lyrics or it will write lyrics based on prompts. I've seen some people do that, and it's been really funny. It has been. You know what? I know the Mandarin Hawaiian sounds intriguing. Agree. There were so many on there that I wanted to play with, but I knew I shouldn't be messing with them. So, or else we could be here all night. But I hope y'all had fun hanging out with me. Mary Lou from Ecamm, what's up? Also over on Substack. So you check it out, Substack to go live. This is one of my favorite places right now is going live on Substack. Of course, I love my friends on YouTube, LinkedIn, and all the spaces. But this has been so cool to be able to enjoy the connection amongst all of the different intimate communities that we have. You're new to Substack? Okay, definitely follow, get connected. If there's anything I can help you with, and I know Jim Fuse is over here and Dealcasters, Chris Stone is over here. There's quite a few people that have joined over here from the Ecamm family. So absolutely. Am I the first live that you've seen here? That's crazy. Well, then I'm honored. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the world of Substack. Love it. Okay, y'all. So check this out. Let me do my little, I've got my recap for you with points that you will not want to forget about this whole topic we've been talking about tonight. Don't forget these things. Let's pop them up. First of all, it's important to use safe music. So you need to be sure you can't use the just, I do not own the rights to this music line. That does not work. Whoever told you to make that, put that in there. It's sort of like people who go on to Facebook and they say, I do not give Facebook permission to use my likeness, etc. Facebook doesn't care because they're like, look, you already signed up and said yes simply by using our platform. Same thing applies when it comes to music. So if you're sharing music in your different videos, you got to be real careful that you truly do understand your usage rights if you have them at all. Okay. So you want to go and look for safe spaces to find your music sources. And one of them, as I mentioned, is Epidemic Sound. That truly is the one that has been my go-to. Although I'm really tempted now by the AI generated stuff because, hey, you can create something really unique and different that no one else will have. So that is very intriguing to me. Additionally, besides the AI generated music like on Suno, and I know there are other apps and platforms out there, y'all, but I don't know them all. Suno is the one that I've heard most about, and that's the reason why I shared it. So Suno.com. Epidemic Sound, but then also the YouTube Music Library and the Meta Sound Collection. Those are available to you too. If you're just like, hey, keep it simple and easy, and I don't want to go and do all those other things, and I don't want a subscription, then those could be the option for you. But definitely to Miss Stevenson over in Substack, her point You want to double check, especially if you're multi streaming and sharing your videos in multiple places beyond the platform. So, beyond YouTube or Meta, if you're using their collection or their royalty free, okay to use audio, make sure that it is going to be safe across platforms. Okay. So, that is what I wanted to share with you for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed our conversation. I sure have enjoyed spending time with you. And as I said before, there's nothing like having fun with this crew. This is why I come on Thursdays. This is why I'm here. So thank you for paying attention. But more importantly, thank you for joining me in the comments in the chat. Before we go, I've got to pop up a few more comments. Let's see. Lovely to see you again. You too. Happy Easter to everyone who celebrates. I do have a really quick notice as well for my family who's at FSU. Let's see if I write a notice in Facebook in caps. No, honey. You're so funny. You received the notification on Substack. Awesome. Yes. Okay. So on Substack now, you have the capability of being able to actually add or pre-schedule not only your mobile. So for those of you who are on Substack and watching, not only can you schedule your mobile device live streams, now you can also schedule ahead of time for your desktop versions. So what I'm doing right now on desktop using the RTMP link, I can do that now with a schedule in advance, which is awesome. So Substack literally has been adding a new feature, it seems like just about every week for live streaming, which is one of the things that I love about the space. And I am absolutely enjoying just the positive energy that I'm feeling and seeing over there. The vibe is good, but don't get it twisted. I'm still about the platform free life, right? The platform proof life, meaning that you still need to realize that it's not your space. You don't own it. So we do need to keep control, retain control of our original content in our own spaces. We're renting land on Substack, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the other spaces, right? Even YouTube, because at any time they can decide if they want to remove your stuff. So be sure you keep those things in mind as you're making decisions about whatever platform you're staying on. And you know, we've done some recent live streams talking about that topic on a deeper level. The other thing I wanted to say is for those of you, besides I'm saying happy Easter to those of you who celebrate, I also wanted to send a shout out and a prayer to those members of Florida State University. I am an alum from Florida State, from FSU. So instantly, once things were happening earlier today, I did get the notification and I reached out to some of my sorority sisters, and I've been hearing from people and trying to make sure that, you know, that everyone's safe, but apparently there were a couple of people that are not safe. And so I just want to say that I'm praying for your families and for your communities and for everyone who experienced the horror today in that space. And every day that this keeps happening, it is a tragedy. And we need to be more vocal about it, and we need to recognize it and never become numb to it because it's not normal. It should not be the norm. So I did want to say that. All right. Thank you so much, y'all. Yes, and Web Video said Zoom went down briefly yesterday. Yep, there's all kinds of announcements. Y'all, I could spend all day talking about everything that's been going on, but I will just say this. My hope for you is that you feel kindness, that you spread joy, and that you keep on showing up. And if streaming is not your thing, find your voice, find a way to get your voice out into the world because people need to hear you. We need to connect with each other on a deeper level than we have been. And this is one of the reasons why I do live stream most Thursdays, as you know, because I want to reach out to you and let you know I'm here. And I know that you're here for me as well. We've got to keep having conversations. We've got to keep doing that. So have a wonderful weekend. If you're resting, whatever it is you're doing, enjoy it to the fullest. Life is not promised. But I will see you next week in the stream. Okay? Take care.